Hello everybody, I'm Larry Bowe. Welcome back to Cycle Fab. I just want to let you know that I got a scooter in that I've been working on. As a matter of fact, you saw the tank that I did last week. Got the rust out of it. Well, it's ready to go, and I've got some other items here I want to show you about. But let me give you some history on the scooter. It's been sitting for 7 years in a garage with old gas in it. Now, what happens to old gas when it sits inside of a tank and a fuel system is that, one, it evaporates. But something else that it does, it leaves behind residue. Rust in the tank and shellac, tarnish, nasty gum in the fuel system, the carburetor, the fuel lines. So instead of me just cleaning all this out and getting it ready, which is very labor intensive, it was cheaper for me to buy the parts. You have to realize this is a scooter made in China. The parts are cheap. So I went ahead and they're easily obtainable. Got the carburetor, got a new fuel sensor. The other one was ate up with rust. I went ahead and got some new fuel line, fuel filter, spark plug wire, and a new coil. Now, the spark plug wire and the coil really didn't need a new one, but I think it was $8. Why not? The other one was kind of cheesy anyway. This is a high performance coil. Now, did get a new battery. Obviously, the other one was dead, the old one. And I talked my customer into a battery charger, a maintainer. So in the winter months, when he's not using it to commute back and forth to work, just plug it in, keep the battery charged up. So what you're going to watch me do is install these parts on this scooter, which is sitting right over there. You can't see it. And hopefully we can get this thing to run. Now, I'm not going to go into detail with you on every little nut and bolt and hookup because that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to show you that, yes, if you do have a scooter, you didn't pay a lot of money for it to begin with, especially the Chinese ones, there's no sense in trashing the thing out just because it's been sitting. It's easily fixable. So let's get on with it, and I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please click below, thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Let's get going on this. Now, the first thing is just get all the dirt and trash out of the way. You're going to want to cover up the intake manifold hole to make sure no dust or dirt, grass, debris gets in there. Next thing, install the new battery, then the carburetor. Start from one end basically and go to the other. When it comes to the carburetor, just rehook the fuel line back up, and also the vacuum line. Now you will, on this particular model, and on most of them, have an electronic cable for the choke. It's an electronic choke. That's the black plastic thing you see up here at the top of the carb. Now the next thing is to install the air filter. Now what I've done here is I took the air box of the old air filter and cut the intake tube off of it. The reason why I did that is to get the air filter, the new air filter, out of the way of the rear tire, which is just sitting to the left of the frame. The reason for that is if you're running down a wet road for any reason, you will throw water up on the new air filter. And I just didn't want to do that. Most of the time with these kits, the air filter is mounted right onto the carburetor. It does not take much to do this. You see here I'm using a Phillips screwdriver. As far as tightening these, just make sure they're good and firm. There's no torque specifications on them that I've ever looked for. I'm sure there is somewhere, but just make sure it's good and firm, stays hold. After that, that's pretty much it with the fuel system. Now, it's a good thing that I did go ahead and replace the coil because there was a wire broken on this. There's only two wires that go to it. Right there where my thumb is, that wire was broken, you see. Either it was the mouse chewed it off or what, or it just broke. I don't know. Also, the boot is severely cracked and damaged just from heat and cold transitions while it was stored away. Now, in changing the coil and the coil wire out, you also want to change out the spark plug. Set the gap at 30 thousandths, which is pretty much typical of all of these everywhere. Gap is set at 30 thousandths on a spark plug unless otherwise designated not. Just take your time on this. Make sure everything goes back in place as it was. You see here me putting the little boot over it. That keeps the corrosion down. And well, as a protector, you don't want anything to cross that circuit. Last thing is put the fuel tank on. Now, one thing you do not want to do is fill this all the way up in case you have to take it off again and readjust something. That's pretty much it. Let's see how she goes. Well, as you saw in the video, I got the scooter running, but it wouldn't stay running. But that's okay. The main thing is to make sure that the motor works, to make sure that it does run, everything's okay with that system. Then you move on to adjust it. In this case, it was two reasons it wouldn't stay running. And when I say it wouldn't stay running, it would idle. It would even get somewhat up to speed, but it would kick out and die, and then I'd have to prime the fuel filter to get it going again. Well, one of the reasons it wouldn't run properly is because I got a faulty pit cup, and these are vacuum controlled. I don't particularly care for them, especially on small CC engines, because they do not produce enough vacuum, in my opinion, to operate reliably all the time. Now, also another thing, and well, what I did is I just went back and replaced that with a little bit more of a reputable brand. Something with a diaphragm in it that's more sensitive. It doesn't really cost anymore, it's just you have to look around and shop for it and read the descriptions as of what it pertains to as far as function. Another thing is the valves. Valves on Chinese scooters, come to find out after I did some research on it, right at the beginning of their use, the valves will have a tendency to get out of adjustment. Well, I went in and I readjusted the valves, and sure enough, they were not set properly. The exhaust side was horribly out. The valve would not seat all the way, thus causing the compression to go down and also letting the air-fuel mixture to escape. Well, I set the intake valve at 3 thousandths and the exhaust valve at 4 thousandths, and that cured the problem right there. So just doing those two things caused the engine to operate as it's supposed to. Now we move on to the other systems of the bike, scooter, like lights, brakes. Make sure everything is running safely. In this case, the front brake is not working, but that's okay. That's an easy fix. What happened is the hydraulic cylinder in the lever, master cylinder unit, was froze up, rusted up. The moisture got in there and caused it to seize. I'm sure when it was stored, something was pressed up against the lever, causing the piston to stay pushed in for God knows how many years, thus seizing it up. Anyway, no big deal. Again, I went to Amazon for both of these parts, the front brake and the second
fuel valve. So it works great now. Still have to go through the lights, the blinkers and such. I do know that 2 of the blinkers work. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 do. The other one, bulb probably just burned out. This is a very simple electronic system on these things. But all in all, if you pay $1,300 for a scooter and you use it one season and you store it away, in this case for 7 years, really, there is no sense in throwing the thing away, which is what this guy was going to do. He was going to take it down and have it recycled. And for $130 in parts, it's fixable. And it does not take a skilled mechanic to do this. Anybody with any kind of mechanical close to knowledge can do this. So anyway, my other videos are right here to the right. You can check them out, and please give me a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll be seeing you guys in a few days. Bye.